Hey, welcome back to another episode of It's a Football Thing. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We have a blockbuster episode in store for you. Let's just start off by saying it was a real eventful couple of days in the Champions League. Scott, how you going, my man?
Mate, picture me the same way you'd picture the Don. Just sitting here, smoking my imaginary cigar. Happy to be here with you boys talking football.
Beautiful. Robbie, how are you, brother?
I could probably say I feel unreal, mate. But nah, look, mate. I've got my vino here tonight, drinking to a great day at the. I've got my white jersey on for Real Madrid and hopefully Tottenham to do an upset. So I'm pumped for tonight.
Beautiful. Well, we've got the Champions League. We're unpacking Pep the Con, Carlo the Don, Reds edging past a very spirited Villarreal, it must say. We've also got some huge bumper Premier League clashes that are affecting all sides of the table, top four, the title race, the relegation. It's all happening. And I think we're going to go through a couple of other fun things, Scott, but we've got a few people in the house.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's just acknowledge and say hello to some of the legends already in here tonight. We got the concierge.
What a legend.
Big up to the legends. Carlo smoking on that City pack and about to smoke on Salah. Well, look, we'll have to see about that second one, but certainly a good morning for the Don. We got Marty back in here. Nice to have you in the house, Marty, live. We got Borche from the football capital. Love this. I'm sure he would have been happy with the result. Justin specifically saying good evening to Rob, and then good evening to myself and RJ as well. And we've got Tom here. Yeah, Man City is still Man City, but Madrid are unreal in the UCL. Hard to argue. Boys, the stage is set. We know that at the end of the month, we will have a Champions League final that is Real Madrid and Liverpool. I'm not going to lie. I thought it was going to be an all-English final. I thought Pep and his boys would grind this out. But as I put out on my Twitter, I was actually really relieved. Now, I don't buy into this obsession with hating Liverpool that some of the Manchester United boys do and other fans. I don't hate Liverpool, but I am kind of a little bit over the Liverpool Man City thing at every possible turn. How did you feel about that final and how it's going to shape up, Robbie? I know you'd be happy.
Mate, as I was saying before, I think it was around about 30 seconds before the first goal of Real Madrid. I was just about to say the nightmare final is about to be upon us. And look, City was in cruise control when that happened. They had the goal, they had a 2-goal buffer. Honestly, there would have been City fans out there that would have bought their tickets, a plane ticket to Paris tonight, 100%. I would have been doing the same thing. You would have been buzzing, but mate, when that turned, it was just like you had like a bit of your own team's feelings there because like everyone had like I didn't want City to win. We all on the Real Madrid bandwagon. Mate, Daniel was running around the factory saying Madrid, and all this. It was just one of those, we really didn't want to. I was nearly the same yesterday, a little before that, the first half of the Villarreal game. But look, I do have to say I do prefer this final because, I agree with you. Liverpool City would have been boring for me. I really wouldn't have wanted to watch it. At least this one here, I'm going to have like a little bit of a bandwagon team I'm going to be following in the final. But it should be a cracker final, but we'll get into that later on.
RJ, I know you're a little bit balanced like me. You don't buy into this obsession.
No, absolutely. I'm not balanced here at all. Usually I am balanced.
The balanced blue.
The balanced blue is the unbalanced blue. I'm like Rob. This was a nightmare final proposition because Liverpool's the old enemy for us, particularly when I was growing up, anyway, in the early 2000s when we had the big rivalry with them. But seeing them and Manchester City, and really the only main thing we have over Manchester City is they haven't won a Champions League. So the fact that they've prolonged it another year, I feel a lot more better about that now. And
RJ,
with Real Madrid, yeah.
Fist pump if you've got a Champions League.
If you've got more than one, we can double fist pump.
I haven't got a third fist.
Exactly. You're lucky, mate. But honestly speaking, City, again, they just don't know how to get the job done in this competition. And I also want to pay a massive, massive respect to Real Madrid because PSG probably thought we've got this covered. Chelsea, when I know we got the draw, I was a bit arrogant and said, yep, I wanted Real Madrid. We've got them. They haven't got our match. We'll take care of them. And Man City would have done the exact same thing. So you know what? this is one of the most incredible runs to the final, and at the helm, the Karim Reaper and Don Carlo Ancelotti. What a run. Awesome stuff.
5 Champions League finals, the Dons.
First in history.
First time ever made. So he just broke a record last year for doing the whole European elite, and now he's made his 5th Champions League final. That's an amazing stat again.
But before I give my viewpoint on this, all those people in the chat, you're doing an amazing job. Just make sure you smash that like button. Hit subscribe if you haven't already for some crazy reason. But I just want to say hello to a couple more champions who have joined us. Davidan here, resident Leeds fan. Welcome back. My man Jack in the house. We're doing well, Jack. You're a Liverpool fan, so I know you're doing well. You're licking your lips at the prospect of this final. A couple more. We got Mo from the Blue Lounge. Make sure you check him out. He's a champion.
He's a legend.
Legend.
Patrick with some very kind words. Look,
thanks, Pat.
There's some tough competition, but we'll take the kudos, mate. And again, from Mo, you're too kind. Let me come back to my thoughts on this. First of all, the two of you, it's almost as if Arsenal have beaten both of your teams convincingly in the last couple of weeks, because you still hands up if your team. Let's fist bump if you've won the Champions League. That's pathetic, boys.
Just fist bump if you ever get into the Champions League.
Get that nonsense out of here. Let's fist bump if yours is gold and you've gone undefeated. Sorry, there we go.
Oh wow!
But I am going to show some love in this final for Liverpool, because I know you two both want Madrid to win it.
Absolutely.
B, I think Liverpool are the more deserving team. There have been strokes and elements of luck along Real Madrid's path. And if someone was a pure neutral, you would probably admit that Liverpool play the better, more attractive football. And we always want to see that kind of football rewarded. So I'll be hoping that Liverpool win it. It doesn't matter to me. My club's never won it, as you two keep reminding me. So we've got a long way to go before we catch
Thanks for reminding us. I forgot for a second.
Yeah, so I'm going to go with Liverpool.
On the deserving front, like I said, the way Real Madrid has got to the final, I think they are much deserving of this final compared to the Liverpool route. But let me just give a little bit of how scared I am with this Liverpool. Now, as much as I was celebrating that City got knocked out today, the only thing I can say is I am absolutely scared shitless with Liverpool, mate, doing the quad, because this quad is on, and mate, the odds are short. I had a quick look. It's $4.50 for them still to do the quad. We have to think of what this loss does to City, mate. I reckon this is a big sucker punch for them now.
Huge drop. It's huge. And the mental scarring.
Pep has a job to do to get this team back up in a few days and finish this, this Premier League thing, because there's 4 games to go. And honestly, I'm a bit of a conspiracy theory. I had a look today, and there's some crazy stats. Number 1 for the Champions League. The last time the Real Madrid lost the final in 1981 was against Liverpool in Paris. The final this year is in Paris. The whole 2.0 final and the whole revenge on Real Madrid, that's going to be interesting. Again, Ancelotti and Liverpool have, they've got a beef in Champions League from his AC Milan days. If you look at FA Cup, look, no disrespect to Chelsea, but at the moment, we don't know where Chelsea is mentally at the moment with the whole what's happening with their club.
I'll get to that. Don't worry. I'll get to it.
I'm hoping, look, Blues all the way for that. And what's the last one? And the one in the league that scares me the most, I had a look at the last few games. City have got to play Gerrard's Villa at Villa. And on the last day of the season, tell me this is not going to be something for the books. I think it's Liverpool. One of them playing Villa. I know, I've buckled it up. I had this all done in my head. I'll come back to me.
Hey, but you know what? Speaking about City's run, and I want to talk about Pep's legacy in a minute, but we've got Paul in here from the Tomb Review saying we face a wounded beast on Sunday. Look,
good point.
Sometimes a wounded beast will attack more fiercely, but it depends on the wound. Now, if this has absolutely demoralized the squad, I would not be shocked if Newcastle can take something from this game. And Newcastle win, probably a little bit too much of a stretch for me, but a point perhaps. And we're going to come to this match when we do our predictions in depth soon. But boys, I want to talk about Pep's legacy. Okay, we know one thing that we're going to all agree on and it doesn't happen often here, is that Pep is in that elite top tier of football managers. He's achieved amazing things. He's had an excellent career, and there's still a long way to go in his career, right? I think we can all agree with that, right? We good?
Yep.
No,
Yep.
no, I'll ignore him over there. But this failure to win the Champions League with Manchester City, from positions where they could have at the very least got to the final, for me, that puts a giant blemish on his managerial career. I don't think he's ever going to win it with City. I think he'll move before he wins it with City. And this is going to be that one thing that he always looks back at and thinks, I couldn't get that one over the line. I couldn't do it. Now, I've seen a lot of arguments about squad depth. People saying, their squad depth and they don't have a striker. I'm sorry, but that's through choice. You spent 100 million on Jack Grealish. You don't have a striker because you didn't want the striker enough. So I'm not buying into the squad depth. The same with Arsenal. We've kept 2 strikers since January and neither can score goals. If we're finding it hard to score, it's on us. How much does this hurt his legacy, though, RJ, as a world-class, one of the greatest managers?
It hurts, mate. It does, because, like you said, he's gone, done it, obviously, with Barcelona, prime Barcelona, I'll add. He didn't do it with Bayern Munich. So it's not like it's unprecedented for him to go place and not win it there. So there was a bit of mixed results in going into another dominant team in Germany and just winning the Bundesliga. But him coming to Manchester City is a step up in terms of the quality that's been afforded to him from a financial power perspective. The amount of investment they made, the quality that they have, the fact that they've been the dominant force in the Premier League, which they have, and you've got to give him credit where it's due, because in the league sense, my thoughts about the league versus a cup competition. No doubt he's elite. But this does really, I think it would be a big wound for him, because the expectation is massive for them to have tied the bow on this one. And if he walks away from City and say, let's go to PSG, another financial powerhouse that can really suit him, I think this will be unfinished business. And I think similar to Jose Mourinho for us, he couldn't quite get the job done for the Champions League. He won it with Inter, obviously done with Porto. But yeah, I reckon this one here, if he leaves before he wraps up that Champions League, that will really hurt his legacy as being one of the top Premier League managers, even though it's a Champions League competition at a age.
6 seasons he's been at City now, and he has failed to do it. You can nearly say, if we're being tongue-in-cheek, he's done the same job as Mancini and Pellegrini. They both delivered domestic cups, and they both won the Premier League. He was brought in, as Sheikh Mansour said, we want European success. They've given him everything that he wanted on the plate. He's built a squad. He's had the dollars. 6 seasons later, he's made 1 Champions League final, and he's bottled the rest. That's a massive failure for me. And if you were to ask, Sheikh Mansour, I'm sure he'd say it's a failure as well.
If City don't win the league, is Pep sacked? Yes or no, boys? Quick fire it.
No.
Yeah, no.
Yes.
It's no. But why is it yes? Is it yes because of expectation?
Because if he doesn't win the league, he's buckled the league. He's buckled the Champions League.
So he's got no credit on the board. He's got no.
That's not good enough for Man City. No, I think for them the credit is they wanted to step up to that Champions League, and it still hasn't happened. It's not like they haven't invested. For me, I think I'm not saying he should. I'm saying I think they will. I think they'll have had enough. Who you bring in, I don't know.
Exactly.
That's why it's a no for me.
That's the no for me as well. Who do you bring in to replace Pep when there's no one better than him on the market at the moment to do his job? I can't see who they're going to bring in.
Would they bring in Pochettino?
No chance.
That's the problem. He's got so much security because he's in his own little world in terms of what he's achieved over a prolonged period of time. Unless someone like, Klopp was to become available or something, who are you going to bring in to manage this group of players? Unless there's, it's a massive risk. Unless they totally derailed to finish second, to finish in the Champions League. Let's be real here. He got knocked out from a 2-minute disaster class right at the end of this game. They were on cruise control, right? But results speak louder than words. We know that. I just think he's got enough credibility that if they were to blow the league, it would be horrendous, but it wouldn't be to the point where they say, "No, we can't keep you on anymore," just because I don't think that there's anyone better to replace him that's available at this stage.
Well, look, I know a guy. What about this fella?
Oh, one day, you never know, mate. You never know.
You know what, mate? He's probably Ange, because he was with that Japanese, which is that Japanese Yokohama club, which is part of the City football group. You know, he'd have a little bit of a good liking from that. I do think City's too big of a job at the moment. I do think he's got bigger plans than Celtic eventually, but City is top echelon.
And we're all forgetting the Bolter. You know, the Bolter. If Everton go down, they might bring in the City legend, Frank Lampard, to come in and stir him up. Imagine that.
That would be hilarious.
Can you imagine? Oh, my geez. Oh, wow.
What about this fella, boys? Just quick fire it. Yes or no? It's a yes from me. Let's skip that one. Look, and this is some fair criticism. Now, we talked about this a little bit before stream, man. We're going to move on from the Champions League in a minute. It's a massive deal, though, so we wanted to do it some justice. Robbie, you were saying that, you know, you didn't think Pep did much wrong, and this was all on the players. Butcher clearly doesn't agree. He thinks the in-game management was horrible and the subs didn't understand.
What? If that was me, I wouldn't be complaining that the subs mean. Like, they had a 2-goal lead with 2 minutes to go plus injury time. He took off attackers and put experienced midfielders and defenders on. Fernandinho, one of the best defensive midfielders there has been in experience. He's taken off attackers, putting them on. Kevin De Bruyne looked not even fit for that game. He had a shocker of a game himself. And, you know, the commentators were saying that even before he got the hook, he doesn't look right. He doesn't look fit. You know, everyone was waiting for him to come off. And, you know, that was still 0-0 when he did come off. And then they got the 1-0 goal. So, you know, I don't think Pep, this one's on the players for me. Yes, Pep and City have bottled it many times. But this one here, you've got to put it. And once that first goal went in, City just completely capitulated, mate. Yeah. They went in, 1 goal, 2 minutes later, another goal. And then what they do, 5 minutes into first half, they concede a penalty like that, mate. The crowd was always going to be a factor once they got a goal, Madrid.
Of course.
Me, and you know, at the Bernabeu, they do get a little bit more than the rub of the green there. So they played it well. The experience that they have there, I think on one hand, we're focusing a lot on City bottling it, but equally, Real Madrid, again, the character that they've shown against PSG, they were down and out for 90% of the legs. Against Chelsea, they were 3-0 down at home, and it took a worldie of a goal to get them into extra time. And then again, they were done for, totally done for. This would have been, if the result finished the way it was, nobody would have batted an eyelid. They would have said cruise control City. But the character that this team shows, and that's partially due to Ancelotti, which we should talk about a little bit, but also the experience of players like Karim Benzema, who I'll put out on the record, if this guy is not the leading candidate for Ballon d'Or, then I'm just not here. I'm not, because this guy, he's gone from prodigy to chief assister and playmaker for Ronaldo to being the number one person on the team. And in my opinion, the number one player at the moment going around.
No, wait, it's not him. It's got to be Mo Salah. Mo Salah for me is still the front runner.
No, he's dipped too much for me. He's dipped too much.
It's going to come down to who wins the Champions League. That's going to be a major factor.
True. That's a good point.
Yeah.
And I just think of this final quickly. It's going to be UEFA Madrid versus Liverpool. So I reckon it's going to be a crazy. It's going to be some crazy decisions in this one, mate.
Interesting comment here from my man Christian. Real deserve this trophy just on their journey alone, but Liverpool 100%. Are still favourites. You know what, though? I'm seeing a lot of talk about Liverpool having an easy run-in. Don't forget what Villarreal did. Yeah, they are a team that made it very difficult. Like they're not an easy team to beat. So I don't think Liverpool had it easy. And I
but
think
it's all relative, isn't it, though? But this is your comment football. Before. Your argument is that they've played the better football, they look the more dominant, and therefore, based on that logic, they should win it. I get that, and generally I agree because that's how my team normally plays. But you've got to say, nothing like a good story where the underdog continues time and time again to beat the superior team. So based on the difficulty, the degree of difficulty, Real Madrid deserve to win the competition
Just-
because Liverpool is the more dominant team and have had a relatively easier run.
Just quickly, Scott, as well, we're talking about changes for Pep. On that point there, the changes from Carlo. He took off Modric, took off Casemiro. He's put on 19, 20-year-old Camavinga. Absolutely tore it up, mate. The guy was cool as ice. He was amazing. And to think, I was talking about this kid at the start of the transfer window, at the start of the season. Oh, we might, United it was between him and Madrid. Obviously, chose Madrid, fair enough.
Yeah.
But this kid went for like 30, 40 million from Rennes, mate. And look at him. What a peach they've got on their hands.
But you know what? A lot of Madrid fans are coming out saying that he hasn't had the best season. Like this was one of those moments.
He's delivering when it matters, mate.
100%. Look, we're going to have to wait and see. We will move on to some Premier League predictions in just a moment because there are some absolute cracking matches coming up. And we know that top 4 race is heading to the wire. I would say now it's Arsenal or Spurs. I think United, we could probably say a finish with that. It's probably the race of the top 3 now to get to third because Chelsea potentially could slip out of there. There's a little bit of pressure coming. We've got the relegation battle heating up with Frank Lampard's great result in their last fixture. And the title race, of course, is going to continue to go to the wire. So we're going to look at all of that. But I do want to ask you guys in the live chat, let's quick fire it. We know it's a long way away, but Liverpool or Real Madrid, who have you got? Just let us know. Maybe the method of victory, extra time, penalties, and who's winning it while we do some predictions.
What about us, boys? Quick fire, Scotty. Real Madrid. Who do you think's going to win, Real Madrid or Liverpool? Quick fire.
Liverpool 3-1.
RJ?
Nah, Real Madrid, the underdog story continues. Don Carlo, Eden Hazard to lift the trophy. Come on, Real Madrid. I reckon I'll win this one.
Since when are Real Madrid underdogs, man? They're the Galactic.
They are, mate. This season
ever. Robbie?
If I'm going to be truly honest, I think Liverpool win this.
Yeah. I'm the same. Let's quickly look at the live chat before we jump into the mammoth fixture that is Brentford versus Southampton. Let's have a look here. We got Madrid 3-2. Real, wow. Livo 2-1. Diaz winner.
I think a lot of people are like me who want
they
Madrid
just hate Liverpool.
Like I said, you got to be honest with yourself. I just think if you're looking at it like the favourites, I think Liverpool have too much. They have got a great team.
Is VAR in effect for this final?
100%. That's
I'm
what I said.
a bit nervous now. I might need to change my result.
Plenty of good ones. Here you go. Liverpool too strong. Played together longer. Great point. Real Madrid win it in the tunnel. Look, it's interesting. Let's jump into Brentford, Southampton. Robbie, your team playing against Southampton. What's going to happen here?
2-0 to the Bees.
You're buzzing for it. You're buzzing. I'm going to go for 1-1 draw, my favourite scoreline.
Yeah, you're going to usurp me on this tipping contest, but at least I can't drop out of the 3 like my club. So I'll lock in a 1-1 draw as well.
Let's look at Burnley, Aston Villa. Burnley been in very good form. Aston Villa did have a good win in their last match, though. But again, I'm going to say 1-1. I can't split these guys. What about you, RJ?
Yeah, Burnley's obviously the more desperate. I don't know here, though. I'm going to go for a bit of an upset. I think Villa will take this one 2-1.
Okay. What about you, Robbie?
Yeah, I think I agree with you, Borg. 1-0 for this one at Turf Moor.
Right, RJ, give us a little bit on this because the heat's now on Chelsea again. We know you're going to get to the Champions League. Highly unlikely you don't make it. But there's a little bit of pressure now. Arsenal and Spurs clipping at your heels. How are you thinking this game will play out?
Well, we know Wolves have had a bad run and they traditionally give us a bit of a hard time. So I don't take this as a given result by any stretch of the imagination. But that said, I do think that, well, I'm more hoping, to be honest with you, but given the whole ownership situation, we're getting a little bit of clarity and movement there, and a few players are starting to come back now. And now when push comes to shove, we're getting closer to that end of season stuff before the FA Cup. I think we'll start to see a bit more positive performances. I reckon we will bounce back. To be honest with you, I'm concerned about 2 things. The fact that we're so wild in terms of the variation. 1 minute we're very good defensively, next minute we're leaking goals, which is uncharacteristic. And equally, we struggle up top at the moment. We're very Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde sort of stuff. But I think we'll have enough here. Wolves will be desperate, but I think we'll do enough to get the job done in the end. So lock me in for, I'll go 2-1. Not perfect clean sheet, but 2-1 because we're getting a bit desperate now.
Can I ask you who starts up front?
Good question. I think
not Lukaku.
Well, I think, mate, to be honest, I'm not one of those people that says definitely he's 100% gone, even though it looks likely. I'm trying to think of the off season. Hopefully, because it's too expensive to offload.
I just think you guys are better with. I personally like Havertz up there. I just think he does it.
He definitely. Havertz is definitely being better, no doubt. But I still am not convinced he's the man to lead us in that position because the guy come in more as a right winger, a right mid attacking midfielder, could play up front. In many ways, he's a victim of his versatility. But based on how we've been playing with that fluid front three, he does get the nod to start. It's more of a question of, do you start Werner, who's very hot and cold, along with Mason Mount, or do you give someone like Christian Pulisic a turn and Mason Mount? Because he's had a lot of minutes, and you've got a wild card like Hakim Ziyech as well, who's a game changer on his day. Look, for me, based on the way Wolves play, they're going to be very resilient, set up a low block, and really try to frustrate us because the onus is on.
Oh, we've lost him again. The McDonald's Wi-Fi is not working very well tonight.
He's got city Wi-Fi at the moment, mate.
I kind of like his face like that, though. He looks kind of cute. He's lost in thought. Let's get your prediction, though, Robbie.
Yeah, look, I'll go keep it quick on this one. I think Chelsea will win 1-0.
Yeah, look, I'm going to go with Chelsea in this one, 2-1. I just want to have a look. Oh, there's a great comment there from Porche. I'll have to show him when he gets back. Declared, it's time to go, regardless of how expensive he is. If he wants to go, they'll find a way. I think he's referring to old mate Lukaku there as well. Davide, 4 league goals, same as Icardi and twice as many starts. Emad, what a blessing. I agree, mate. It's always a blessing when we don't have to hear too much from RJ. Look, it wasn't me smashing the mute button on him. I'm not responsible for that. And this is big news, RJ. Hudson-Odoi back in training.
Yeah.
We gave our predictions. We've both gone with Chelsea win. What's yours?
Yeah, I said 2-1, and up front I'd go Havertz, Mount, and I'd probably, as a wild card, give Pulisic a go from the start on left wing.
And can I ask you this question, RJ, just quickly? It's a pretty big one. Who are you going to support when Chelsea fold? Because Roman wants his cash back.
I love it.
You coming to Arsenal?
If that happens, then Mourinho was right. The conspiracy is finally paid off. But don't get too excited. Just worry about qualifying for Conference League, okay? And then we'll let the kids play there and all of the fun stuff. We're going nowhere.
Listen, the Europa League is already mathematically confirmed for us.
I just spoke to Bruce Buck, Scott. I just spoke to Bruce Buck, the chair. We're all good, mate. We're all good. We're coming back louder and stronger.
The Bucks going to stop there. We've got more predictions to do, boys. And as always, don't forget to like, don't forget to sub. It helps get this video seen by others. It's lovely to see some new faces in here tonight. Feel free to throw in your own predictions for any of the matches that we're covering. We do go through them quick, though. Let's bring the fixtures back up because there's plenty more to get through, boys. Crystal Palace, Watford. Palace were impressing me for a long while, but they've really kind of just dropped off that magnificent form. I think it's a bit of burnout. I'm going to go and back the Palace boys, though, my man Patrick Vieira, for a 1-0 win. What about you, Robbie?
Yeah, I'm going to go 3-1 Palace.
Wow, tipping the goals to come. What about you, RJ?
Yeah, I think Palace will take this one. I'm going to go 2-0.
Okay. Robbie, I'm going to stop sharing the screen for a moment because I want you to give us a bit of a context on Brighton hosting Manchester United. We're pretty much saying there's no Champions League for you next year, but crazier things have happened. Where are you at with this game? What do you expect to see?
Yeah, for a start of the Champions League is definitely not happening. There's literally a 0.5%. We're already over that moon.
Is it a lock?
For me now, it's unlocked. That's definitely unlocked. That's not happening. Look, for me, this is I'm going in this one. I want to build off our last result, which I thought was one of our best performances this year.
Yeah.
I'll nearly start the exact same team. I want to see Mata and I want to see Matic in that midfield again. It's the first time we've actually dominated the midfield. And I actually think we can get a result over there. And I want to I want us to play. I want the players to show a little bit of fight again. And I want to win this game to kind of keep the Europa on lock, to be honest, because we win this and then we do avoid the Conference League. And for me, that's pretty much my main objective this season. I want to avoid the Conference League at all costs. It's Europa or nothing for me. I do not want the Conference League.
Go on. Sorry, go on. No, go on.
Told you Europa League for me is something that I think Ten Hag will be okay with. We can play the kids there when we want. If we get deep, then we'll take it seriously. It's a trophy we can aim for. And the biggest thing is it's another route into the Champions League. So if we're hanging around that 5th, 6th next season, because top 4 might be an ask in our first season under a new manager, that's another route into the Champions League. So I'm taking this one serious. 2-0 United.
You are a cheeky bugger though. You've got some nerve in you, mate, because at the beginning of this stream, about 29 minutes ago, you have the nerve and the audacity to sit there and say, fist bump if your team's won the Champions League. And now 30 minutes later, you're sitting here saying, oh, yeah, we've got to lock in the Europa League. Mate,
this is where we are at the moment. I think it's not the only one. Hold on a minute. I missed the Champions League on Locky. You guys haven't been there for 5 years.
It's done. We're in there next year.
Done.
That's what matters.
Mate, get the popcorn, lads. Let's meet in the car park. We all live around the corner. Let's meet up for a parking lot.
Look, mate, I'm on the Spurs freaking wagon here, mate, because if you guys don't get top 4, you're going to cop it hard.
You're on the Brentford wagon, the Spurs wagon, the Real Madrid wagon, the Liverpool wagon. Mate, you are the wagon. As long as
Liverpool don't win. I'm on a Chelsea wagon too for the FA Cup. Don't forget, mate.
Mate, we're going to change the name of this show to It's a Wagon Wheels thing, honestly.
Rob, mate, you wagon wheel. Absolutely. Look, so are you going with a United win, Robbie? You said?
2-0.
2-0. RJ, what do you think is going to happen with Wagon Wheel's team?
I don't know. Where's it at again? Just confirm for me.
Brighton. It's at Brighton.
Amex. Okay, yeah.
2 away games to finish.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, I can understand why you're saying 2-0. I don't know. But to be honest, I could see this, honestly, being a 1-1 draw. I could very much see that. Brighton are a decent team that have been very up and down. You guys don't convince me despite that really good last game you played.
No, look, I want to build on their last performance. So 2-0.
Very cool.
You'll beat Brighton. I don't rate them at the moment. The polish has come off, and I think you'll have enough to beat them. Declared's rattled, Borja. I love it. Declared, good job, mate. You rattled him. We got some more comments in here. Wagon Wheels, Europa League, FA Cup, the poor man's treble pending. Love it. I am, of course, locking in a Manchester United win, but the next fixture we're going to talk about, this one's big, boys, is Liverpool hosting Tottenham Hotspur. This match has massive ramifications on the top of the table because we know that City and Liverpool are in this now shootout for that title, and neither of them wants to slip. A slip here could be critical and end the race for one of them. But we also know that Spurs and Arsenal are locked in an intense battle for that 4th spot, that coveted 4th spot. So they're not going to want to slip either. Now, what makes me a little bit nervous as an Arsenal fan is that this Spurs team have beaten Man City twice this season. And that makes me nervous because we know that Man City and Liverpool, whilst they play very different ways, they're in that elite tier. I'm hoping, praying, that they're just a bogey team for Man City and that Liverpool give the people what they want, and that's Tottenham Hotspur in the mud. So I'm going to go with Liverpool to win this one because that's what needs to happen, positive energy. But I think it's going to be intense. I think it's going to be tight, and I think it'll go down to the wire. Liverpool to beat Spurs 2-1. Robbie, I know what bandwagon you're on.
Mate, what can I say for this one? This is actually, seriously, I reckon it's going to be one of the best games for the end of the season, besides the North London derby that's coming as well.
Yes.
Obviously, I really, really want Spurs to get a result here. I really hope they do take one for the team, take one for football. I don't know. This would be an absolutely massive away win as well at the same time for Liverpool. I can't split it. I'm gonna go for a 1-1 draw in this one. I'm really hoping they drop points. Liverpool. I do think Spurs can get a result in this 1-1.
RJ, I'm worried about this guy. I worry about him more than Spurs players. Conte, a guy who does know what to do and has his moments where he can get his squad to do the unthinkable. What's happening here, boss?
Mate, honestly, the last time I saw Spurs take on and dismantle City on the break with Kulusevski, who's arguably been the signing of the season, along with his counterpart on the other side, Diaz, at the moment, it's going to be a battle of who's the best signing of the season in many respects. But I agree with Robbie. I could very much see Spurs definitely getting a result here. We could see a lot of suffer ball from Conte. He knows the intense way Liverpool play. But equally, I reckon Spurs, the way the high line Liverpool play, they're very exposed. They know they can concede goals. So I wouldn't be surprised if they do exploit them with the pace of Son, Kulusevski, and Kane. We know how prolific he can be. What I like about Kane is just how he's not just your conventional striker. Some of the passes and through balls, he's another playmaker as well. So, yeah, to be honest with you, my head is saying draw. And then actually my heart's saying draw, but I do think Liverpool will edge them. I don't know. I'm going to flip a coin here. You know what? I'm going to go with Robbie here. I trust his judgment. I'm going to go 1-1 here. I can just see.
I'm happy for Spurs to literally get all 11 players and just zigzag them in front of the goal, so it's like a brick wall, mate. I'm happy for them to do that.
The white wall wash.
A draw's not the worst result. I just want Spurs to drop points. And when you look at their run home, as an Arsenal
good for Chelsea too, as well.
100%. It's good for 2/3 of the IFT pod. I look at their run home, and this is one of the ones that you'd feel most confident in that they would drop points. So, mate, I'm Liverpool this weekend, and I'm going to be Liverpool very passionately.
Okay, bandwagon supporter.
Here you go. Look, here's my induction into the wagon wheel clan with Robbie. Liverpool. Save football.
You know what? I've got to say, the amount of love.
Here we go.
You'll agree with me. The amount of neutral love that Scott has for Liverpool fans, I reckon he's a closet Liverpool fan. I'm convinced, mate. Honestly.
You want me to confess something? You want to hear a confession?
I know.
My first ever football jersey was a Robbie Fowler Liverpool home jersey, not purchased by me or my parents. It was purchased by a relative before I knew better, but that was my first ever football jersey.
Jeez, I knew there was something wrong with you. Now at least I know why.
Thank God you come to your senses, Borg. I don't think we could be friends.
Absolutely. But look, it's going to be an intense game. Let's wait and see what happens. And look, Marty here saying if they get 3 points at Anfield, they'll get fourth. Well, that would require Arsenal to drop points, and I don't know if that's going to happen. Couple of comments here. Yes, absolutely. And I like this one from Pericelli. Kane and Son do scare him with Liverpool's high line. If Villarreal can put a couple past you, there is no reason why this Spurs team can't. Son is flying at the moment. But let's move on, boys. We've got plenty of other fixtures, but there's just so much action and it's getting intense now. So the next one is Arsenal hosting Leeds. We're going from one side of the rivalry to the other. I'm not going to dawdle too much on this. We're in nice form. We've had a couple of good results on the trot. We seem to be scoring goals and defending okay. And for me, that's the most terrifying thing about this Arsenal team. Every time it seems to be going too good to be true, we have that banana skin that really throws us off. I don't think the banana skin comes against Leeds, though. I think we have too much for Leeds. And my famous last words are going to be that I'm confident we will beat them. I'm going to say 2-0 to the Arsenal. RJ, what do you think?
It's like that Twitter page, images that precede unfortunate events. That's you with your comment. But you're forgetting one thing. Leeds are now back in the relegation race. They are going to be equally desperate to pull themselves back out. And Davide's favourite manager of all time, Lampard's going to drag Everton out of the drop zone. So I don't know. They're going to be extra motivated. I think you're not going to see the same lackadaisical, all that attacking approach from Leeds. You're going to be quite pragmatic, I reckon, for this game, knowing that every point is like 10 points. I reckon you guys will struggle. I do. I think you're going to have a real tough time breaking them down. And I can see this being a banana peel time, but for Arsenal. I reckon this one, again, will be another 1-1 draw, to be honest. 2 points.
Keep the bad tips coming, brother. You know I'm chasing you in this tipping comp, so keep them coming.
Who cares about that, mate? My club's in real danger at the moment. Who cares about tipping comps?
What about you, Robbie? What's happening here, boss?
I'm just going to get onto the phone to Mario Kart to put a few extra banana skins on that Arsenal Emirates.
Bring it, boys. Bring it on.
Now, look, honestly, I do agree with a bit of both of you. I do think that this is not going to be an easy beat. Since I told you the new manager came in, Jesse Marsh, I do think he's fixed them up quite a bit defensively. I did predict a big win for City over Leeds last week, and it did happen. I do think Arsenal at the Emirates would just, for how important this one is, if they drop points against Leeds, then that's when I'm going to be panicking about your top four, especially when you got the North London derby around the corner.
Yes.
Arsenal do this one 2-0 for me.
Good juju there, Rob. Good. Well done, mate.
What I don't love is Crazy Diamond's work saying 2-1 Leeds, Xhaka red card. It's been too long. We don't need this kind of negative. We don't need these negative thoughts. They're the kind of comments we don't type. We keep them in our heads, and that's it. But look, anything could happen. It's squeaky bum time now in the Premier League. So, yeah, we'll see. Boys, quick fire this one. Do you want Everton relegated or Leeds? Everton for me.
Leeds. Everton hasn't been relegated before.
If Frank wasn't the manager, I'd say Leeds.
Yeah.
Leeds
I'd say the other way. I'm not a big Leeds fan. They're a rival of our clubs.
Yeah,
we've had a big problem with them.
Nah, well, look, I don't consider either of them rivals. They're beneath Arsenal. Let's keep going. Leicester, Everton. Let's quick fire this one, boys. I am going to go Leicester 1-0. RJ?
I think this one will be 2-1 Everton.
Wow. Robbie?
1-0 Leicester.
Not Norwich hosting West Ham. It's not if, it's just how much are West Ham winning by, boys. I'm going to say 3-1 to West Ham. What about you, Robbie?
3-0 West Ham. Even though they might be a bit tired from the Europa, but I still think they've got the goals in them. Yeah, 3-0.
Yeah, Norwich are on holiday mode, so let's go 2-0 West Ham.
Is it Jared Bowen, man? He's absolutely on fire at the moment.
Killing it.
He's honestly, he's having Declan a season and a half.
Shout for the Premier League team of the season when we do that.
He's on fire at the moment.
At the end. All right, Manchester City, the wounded beast, as Paul from the Tomb Review described them earlier, hosting Newcastle United, who are in form, in seriously good form at the moment. Before we give some predictions on this, there are 18 of you here at the moment. I'm going to ask you to do one thing for me. Smash that like button. And if you haven't already, please make sure you subscribe to the channel as well so we can grow. We're on the road to 600. Man City, Newcastle. Robbie.
Please God, City, 5-0. But being honest, I actually honestly think this is a banana skin game. I really do think this. Because I said there's going to be a draw in that Tottenham-Liverpool game. And just when I'm going to get my hopes up, I honestly think this is going to be a drop point for City 1-1 as well.
RJ?
Nah, I expect a response. I heard the whole we're wounded, it's going to take time. This is it. They need to win this. Yes, they have a lot of pressure. At home, I feel sorry for Newcastle. I think you're going to get a bounce back and a half. I reckon City will win this one 3-1.
Just after seeing that performance, Newcastle against Liverpool, they weren't easy to break down even, man.
No way.
City they've come back from Real Madrid. Obviously, they're gonna be a little bit emotionally stuffed unless they've just Pep's got a speech and a half. I don't know. I reckon Newcastle would love to make an upset of this.
I just think because they've got nothing else now, like I think the pride of dropping that, I think that'll be enough to carry them over the line here.
Look, for me, Manchester City, for whatever criticisms there are of them as a team, a squad, of Pep, they are one thing, and that's professional for me. I don't see them having two big stuff-ups within a couple of days of each other. I know that Newcastle are very difficult to break down. I know that they're in absolutely fine form, but I have confidence in Manchester City to just get the job done. And I'm going to say that Manchester City will get the job done 2-0. 2-0 for me. That would keep this title race very much busy. But I do love all of the Manchester United fans in the chat cheering for City. Dear, oh dear. Boys, the game on the 11th is the day after, I believe, Tuesday evening's pod. Because for those that don't know, we're here live Tuesday and Thursday evenings at 8:30. So that means only one thing. It's quickfire time. Have I missed anything?
I think that's it, man. I think we've had a great show, and I think that you're just about ready to wrap it up.
Absolutely. Well, boys,
enough of your Arsenal nonsense. We've had enough of your Gunners rubbish, mate. Come on.
I'm going to kick us off with some yeah-nahs. So I'm going to point out a couple of objects, a few statements, and I just want you to reply, yeah, as in I'm cool with it, or nah, it's not okay. I need to preface the first one with a bit of a story, and I'm going to make it real quick. We went to a restaurant, Turkish restaurant. We ordered some kebabs. The kebabs came unwrapped, so it was an open plate kebab. It wasn't wrapped. Rob cried for a very long amount of time and whinged. I think I've told this story before. Unwrapped kebabs, boys. Yeah, nah.
You already know my answer for this, mate. That's definitely.
Is that when we went out?
Yep.
Yeah. You broke your
That's
thumb.
when I broke my thumb.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I was on my side for this, but anyway.
Yeah, that's enough for me.
No. Look,
you didn't tell the rest of the story. This unwrapped kebab was worth about $30 as well, I think.
doesn't matter, mate. For me, I'm a yeah. Kebabs are kebabs. Wrapped, unwrapped. Just enjoy it. Be grateful. But lots of nahs in the chat, so they're all as fussy as you, Robbie.
Is it a kebab if it's not wrapped?
Listen, we're not getting philosophical, boys. This is not meant to be philosophical. Let's
It's a
not go down the
philosophical
rabbit
thing.
hole. We'll need another 45 minutes on this topic. Let's save it for the end of the season. Can you imagine the thumbnail for that episode? Boy, that'd be bloody brilliant. Wearing sneakers with jeans, otherwise known as sneens. Now, I'm talking even Jordans, like some of these young fellas do.
So it's jeans and what? Sneakers like...
Jeans and like running shoes, like Adidas shoes or...
Yeah, it's a yeah for me. Yeah, I do it all the time.
It's a nah for
you wear
me.
Essex Tigers with your jeans all the time.
Yeah, mate, they're not running shoes. They're not sneakers.
So you're talking about like TNs or something like that kind of thing?
Yep.
Yeah, no, it's a yes for me.
Not tigers or anything like that.
No. No one's going running in Tigers.
Oh, I do, mate. I go running anywhere, mate.
I just don't go running. But for me, it's a nah, mate. It's something your dad does at 40 years of age with Asics and his jeans.
You're not that far off, mate. Come on.
Don't wear sneakers with your jeans. It's not going to impress the ladies, even if they're Jordans or TNs. Just don't do it. You can wear it with shorts, though. RJ?
Yeah, it's nah. I'm with you.
Yep.
No.
Yeah, mate. You and me are the most fashionable.
Quickly, what'd you call it again? What do they call it again?
Sneens.
I've never heard
Who said
that.
sneezes?
Mate, well, I know Jack's young and fashionable, but I'm still not taking his advice. I like this from Davide, wear thongs, tigers, excellent indoor shoes. But no, mate. Look,
Good point.
If you need fashion advice, this is a podcast for you. Now, I went to breakfast with the family the other week. Now, my family aren't the biggest breakfast fans. My sister at breakfast ordered a pasta. Yeah? Nah.
Nah.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't order it, but no, I wouldn't order it, no.
It's a nah. You get breakfast food, mate. You don't order pasta at breakfast.
Well, just quickly, do you not wear the sneakers with the jeans because you don't run?
No, I don't wear sneakers with jeans because it looks stupid, mate. I'm a fashion icon on the Australian podcasting scene. Olin Techers, move over, mate. I am a fashion icon.
Get the merch. Get the IFT merch out, quick.
That's it. Look, I've got one more for you boys. Side bags. Yeah, no.
Yes. It's a yes.
Man bags or side bags? What are you talking about?
The ones over the shoulder, that they're about yay big, rectangular.
Like the Gucci ones and stuff.
Yeah, it's a nah from me. You look
I
ridiculous.
I haven't worn mine in a while, but yeah, it's a yes for me.
Not the ones like you see on the action shows with the guy with like the little iPad and he's actually like a little terrorist or something. But look, for me personally, no. I've had them, don't like them. Nah, for me.
And Tom's comment is 100% correct. I wouldn't order it, but I'd eat it.
Yeah, that's fair. But my sister ordered it, which is ridiculous. Mate, Satchel, I don't care what it's called. It's not on. It's not.
That's a hangover. That's the thing from the hangover. It's a Satchel.
That's right, yeah. Yeah. Nah, it's not on, boys. Look, they're all my nahs for tonight. They're all
I'll go next, boys. Spirits-wise, the three wise men, Jack, Johnny, and Jim. Start one, bench one, sell one.
Jack, Johnny, and Jim.
Start Johnny. Bench.
Yeah, this is easy,
Jack,
mate.
Sell Jim.
Yeah, mine too.
For me, start Jack, sub Johnny, sell Jim. Worst Champions League final.
The one that
Tottenham, Liverpool. Liverpool.
That's honestly my one as well. Tottenham, Liverpool is the worst for me.
For me, Arsenal, Barcelona, because that left me with scars and wounds that I don't ever want to talk about again. So that one.
And last one from kind of the It's a Football Thing segment, playing for your biggest rival. So if you are a Spurs...
Whoa. Hang on a minute. Did I just get poached? You just took my segment and just jumped in there.
I did, mate.
Is this what we're doing now on this podcast, are we?
I had to get one of them.
If the money was right and my club didn't want me, yeah, why not? It's a short career. It's a football thing.
No, it's not. If the club means something to you, I don't think it's a football thing.
So Chelsea don't want you. You have no contract.
Which would never happen, but anyway.
Not play. You wouldn't play instead of taking
I said for a rival. So that's like him going, for a rival. That's like Inter, Juve. It's like Spurs and
Arsenal,
Chelsea. Liverpool and United.
You take it, mate. Take what you can get. What about you, Rob?
It's definitely not for me, mate.
All right, mate. How are you going to afford all your side bags and sneens if you're not playing for anyone? Come on.
It's not anyone. It's a rival.
I don't care. I'm a mercenary, mate. RJ, you go. If Born Offside call me tomorrow, I'm leaving. I'm done. I'm going over there.
Well, mate, if they have any aspirations to want to improve their show, man, I don't think your phone's going to be on 9 ring for a while.
Yeah, they haven't called yet.
You know what? I think we've had enough quick-fire questions. I haven't got any good ones. You guys have asked all the good ones, so I'll leave it for tonight.
All right, boys. It's been a great show. Live chat, everyone in here. Thank you for joining us this evening. If you are watching this back, leave a comment at the bottom of the video letting us know who's going to win the Champions League final. And let us know your thoughts on Pep's legacy as well. Yeah, well, Borcho, I'm waiting for the check in the mail, mate. Send it over.
Playing for contracts here.
He's got a beer fridge in his studio, so I'm there. Let us know if you're watching this back what your thoughts are on Pep's legacy and what you think the score will be. But for those who have joined us for the first time in a while or for the first time, we're here every Tuesday and Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Take care. Enjoy your football. Any closing words, boys?
Hodge?
Just a quick one. Now you're building a club, so this is my actual quick fire on the spot. Who do you take? Ancelotti or Klopp?
Klopp. Robbie?
I agree. For a project, I'd take Klopp.
Yeah,
Closing words.
Just quickly, my boys, we welcome Fulham back. Welcome back to the Cherries for next year. Bournemouth officially promoted to. We'll see them next year in the Premier League, and we'll see you all on Thursday night.
Take care. Farewell.
Beautifully said.